Hi guys, welcome back. We got round 4 coming up. We got Scott Felver and Kainan Lee, and they're setting up over there. They're almost ready, so we're gonna get that on the screen in just a minute. There we go. They're ready. We're ready. Oh, almost ready. We're almost ready. Wait for it. There we go. Now we're ready. Scott's on the left side of your screen. And one thing I want to point out before we begin, actually, the names were switched for the round 3, so just keep that in mind. Just for anyone who's keeping track of all the scores, it was Henge who won both the matches. Anyway, moving on. Scott, on the left side of the screen here, got Incineroar, Kartana, Solgaleo, Rayquaza, Tapu Fini, and Passimian. That's something you don't see very often. Again, all day long, we've been seeing unusual Pokemon, and Kainan's team also not an exception. Tapu Lele, Primarina, Groudon, Dawnwings, Necrozma, Aerodactyl, and Alolan Persian. So definitely a huge mix of weird and unusual Pokemon. Very fun. Passimian, I mean, that's something you don't see at all. So I'm excited to see if we see that in battle. I'm not sure. Looking at Kainan's team, I don't think we're going to see Passimian come out. But I think we will see that Persian, you know, Alolan Persian carrying Fake Out. It's got definitely a decent move pool, foul play, as we saw earlier, almost take out a Primal Groudon from Mandiba. So, I think we're going to see Persian in play here. But we're going to start it off, Kainan sending out that Persian with Dawnwings Necrozma, while Scott going to send out Tapu Fini and Kartana. Now, Kartana, in this case, I think has a really nice advantage. Double super effective moves on both with if it's carrying, I believe Night Slash or and then you have Sacred Sword. I think usually with Kartana now you see Tailwind, Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, and then either you could go Smart Strike, you could go Protect, but those are the main ones. Tapu Fini could act as very well support. We're going to see, right here, okay, so there's Detect instead of Protect, so it's the same effect. And we're going to see Fake Out going onto the Kartana slot, but not going to actually connect with it. Double attack, Fake Out Moongeist Beam, which gives Tapu Fini the free play here to go ahead and Moonblast right onto that Persian, and it knocks it down to red health. So now moving on to the next round, no protection from Kartana, Kartana here, you could go for that knockout on the Persian right away. You could go for a possible attack onto the Dawnwings Necrozma. It looks like it's not going to go for that Kartana's going to swap out, but it's not going to go for Ultra Necrozma. Yeah, we're going to see Incineroar, though, come out, intimidate the Persian. Persian now really crippled, down to red health, -1 in attack, not in a good spot. And also, there is the Ultra Necrozma now, but a good switch then for Scott, because you're in a safe spot. Can go Ultra Necrozma, can't do too much onto Incineroar, can't Earth Power it, as we saw, I believe. But it's going to go straight up for a Moongeist Beam onto that Incineroar. That does very little damage as Persian continues to snarl, and that's going to get Tapu Fini lower in health as well. I'm sorry, lower in special attack as well as the Incineroar. But Tapu Fini, it doesn't really matter as it goes for Icy Wind. That's going to hit one of the Pokemon. Going to miss on the Persian, but it's going to slow the Ultra Necrozma down. And Fake Out once again in play thanks to Scott's Incineroar. So at this point, you can Fake Out the Persian, try and get rid of that. You could Fake Out it's either you knock out the Persian or try and prevent the Ultra Necrozma from doing anything. I think here, a Persian is not a huge threat to either one. I think you go for that Fake Out Ultra Necrozma if you're Scott. Probably swap out Tapu Fini for something else. But we're going to see that Persian switch out as well, going in to that Tapu Lele. So no Fake Out possibility at all. It is gone with the Psychic Terrain. But we aren't going to see a Fake Out because we're going to see that light that burns the sky. Ultra Necrozma Z. And that has to connect with this Tapu Fini in the Psychic Terrain. It's going to do a massive amount of damage. But Tapu Fini is known for its bulk. There's a great shot, though, it's going to knock out. That was a really smart play from Kainan. You're gonna avoid that fake out, but but Scott might have seen that coming. Didn't fake out at all anyway. This Tapu Fini, maybe Scott expected this Tapu Fini to get sacrificed here. Maybe not anticipating for it to move. Expecting this Z move onto it and letting it go down to get into a better position. But Tapu Fini is going to go down. It looked for a second there like it wasn't, but it is a powerful Z move. And that means we are going to see Darkest Lariat, not knockoff, like you would expect with Incineroar. You've seen knockoff a lot, but Darkest Lariat going to come out and get that Ultra Necrozma down into the red. Now, you know, it's interesting, if you are, with Kartana, we did see Detect. If it's carrying Smart Strike, you have a very good double knockout here. It depends on the item on Kartana. It's not the Assault Vest, so it's either going to be maybe a Z Crystal, we've seen that, or most likely in this case, the Focus Sash. If you're carrying the Focus Sash, you Smart Strike Tapu Lele, it's gone. You hit Darkest Lariat onto Ultra Necrozma, that's gone. Your Kartana will be down to 1 health, but that's that. If the Ultra Necrozma or Tapu Lele double target you, but you should be faster than Tapu Lele. So I think that Scott set himself up really nicely here. Kind of scared with that Tapu Lele. It's swapping out. It's gonna go into Groudon. So if they do go for Smart Strike, it's not gonna do very much, but it does boost any Fire type moves from Incineroar with that Desolate Land. But more importantly, it's able to use Precipice Blades in the Harsh Sunlight thanks to its Primal Reversion. And Precipice Blades is going to be a huge threat against Scott's team. You know, looking at it, Incineroar will go down to that. There is that Smart Strike, but Incineroar will go down to that. Moongeist Beam coming out once again from the Ultra Necrozma, and that is going to connect with that Kartana. And it does show it is at 1 HP there with the Focus Sash. Incineroar bailing. It does not want to stay in, and it's going to knock out the Ultra Necrozma in the process. Now that was a very nice play because it allows Scott to set up against this Groudon in a better position. We did see Tapu Fini faint. I don't know if we saw his final Pokemon yet, but we're gonna see it right now. We haven't. It was Rayquaza. So that now is going to remove the if it Mega Evolves, that's gonna remove the Desolate Land, and that is a huge play for Scott bringing in this Pokemon, because what you can do now is double target the Groudon. You can go for the Dragon Ascent, you could go for Waterfall if you're carrying that. You don't even need the double attack if you have Waterfall. Go for Crunch or something. You cannot fake out. You can't get fake out. Kainan bringing out the Persian, which does have possibly fake out. You can fake out the Rayquaza because it's flying, but you can't do Kartana to get rid of it, so Kartana might detect. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double protect here. Possibly we're gonna swap out the Rayquaza, maybe go in and try and attack. But I think here Scott's in a decent position. It's still not guaranteed, and we are going to see a switch out of Rayquaza. But I think Scott, with the Intimidate first off, now onto the Groudon too, to just even more help it even more. I think that's Scott setting it up for himself to do really decent. But I think overall, we didn't see Detect on. Oh wait, we didn't see Detect on Kartana. So okay, maybe not. That might have been a tough spot, and Groudon going for Swords Dance. That puts him in a tougher spot. Kainan now's got the upper hand in this matchup. You click on Precipice Blades, get rid of that Incineroar. It will come down to Rayquaza. So Rayquaza in this case is in a, I think if it carries Waterfall, it's over. I think that this game's gonna go to Scott. If it doesn't carry Waterfall, Kainan's got this by going for, well, Precipice Blades for the Incineroar, and then you can go for Eruption, single target Eruption at full health will be pretty devastating. I don't think, even with the Groudon though, I think because Mega Rayquaza's, well, now with the Delta Stream coming out finally, the Harsh Sunlight and Eruption is going to no longer be as much damage. I think that Scott's still in a decent position just because Rayquaza itself isn't in, oh, there's the Waterfall, but Rayquaza itself doesn't have anything that is Groudon it's strong against, because the Eruption, is resisted. Can't use Precipice Blades because it's flying. So Persian goes down first off, but it did not go down without taking a good chunk out of Rayquaza. It used Foul Play, and it took 50%-ish off, bringing back in the Tapu Lele, and now it's going to be, this could go either way, honestly. The waterfall from Rayquaza will go first, most likely knock out Kainan's Groudon. I think Scott has the upper hand. I'd say he's got like a 70-80% chance of winning this thing right now. But that is why it's not over till it's over, because the Tapu Lele is faster than the Rayquaza, and that is all Kainan needed to do. I was going to say, it's like at 80%, there's a couple factors that could have saved Scott, or could have saved Kainan, sorry, and taken out Scott's Pokemon, like you see there. One of those being the Choice Scarf on Tapu Lele. If not, then the Rayquaza could have been able to pick up the KO and Groudon, but that Choice Scarf right there is going to give Kainan the game. And that is why it is never over till it's over. Even when it looks bleak, you can turn it around. Alright, let's keep going. Now here, Scott, I'm wondering if we're going to see that Passimian. I want to see the Passimian just because I like seeing unusual Pokemon on stream. I don't think that it really has any use against Kainan's team looking at it. You know, you have Tapu Lele, that's unfortunate, and the rest of it, I mean, you have Persian, which it could be useful against, but Kartana's able to do that pretty nicely, and Aerodactyl, which is another one we might see. I'm guessing Aerodactyl's the Mega on Kainan's side, but I don't know for a fact. I think here, Scott brought in the right Pokemon. I don't think that he... And switching anything is going to really make a huge difference. Kainan won, so obviously whatever they did, it worked. But looking at the team as well, I think the same Pokemon they brought in really worked, and it was really just a matter of getting it in the right spot, pulling out that element of surprise with the that Choice Scarf earlier. But now that element of surprise is gone, which also means Scott can plan ahead for that. And possibly that means bringing in Solgaleo, just so in case Kartana goes down, you have another Steel type to take out the Tapu Lele, or not get hit strongly by the Tapu Lele. So, bunch of possible options here. So let's get this match started. Alright, we see Persian and Dawnwing Necrozma once again come out from Kainan's side. Scott gonna go for Tapu Fini and Kartana once again, so practically identical leads here. We see that Misty Surge from the Tapu Fini, so now that is going to remove any status effects. Not that there are any status effects on the field, but now, you know, in this case, we do have that Fake Out. So we saw that Kartana does have Detect. Tapu Fini didn't show any protection, so guessing here we're going to see that play out possibly the same way, but we're actually going to see Kartana just swap out, go into Incineroar. So Incineroar now going to get an Intimidate on the opposing side. That's a nice starting point, actually, just with that Intimidate, because with that Intimidate, what you can do is, and we're going to see actually Dawnwing Necrozma go ahead and protect itself, but with the Intimidate, you're going to be able to keep Persian from doing too much damage with foul play, and it is going to go and snarl, so that's going to definitely hurt the Tapu Fini if the Tapu Fini has any moves, but it seems like it's more status oriented. We have the Icy Wind, it's going to connect with the Persian, not going to do too much, obviously, so it looks like that snarl is not really going to matter. There's that speed drop on the Persian, so now it is a bit more useful for Scott to take on that Persian. I think that here, Kainan has a decent position. I'm not necessarily sure. You know, I think if I were Kainan right now, what I'd go is switch out that Persian for Tapu Lele if you're bringing it back in, and then go for the Ultra Necrozma Z-Crystal onto the Tapu Fini and get rid of that. I think that's a smart play. Prevents Fake Out from Incineroar, but we're not going to see any switches as we go into that Ultra Necrozma. So now Ultra Necrozma might just go straight on attacking with that Photon Geyser. So there it is. So no Z-Crystal, just going to go straight with a Photon Geyser on the Tapu Fini. It doesn't do half damage, actually. Parting Shot from Persian gets it down. Knocks down the attack stat of Incineroar there. So Incineroar is a bit of a sitting duck there because its attack stat is what it's really useful for. And now bringing in Groudon, Incineroar it's definitely time to swap that Incineroar out. It's not going to do much damage. You can get the Intimidate back out. You can get Fake Out back out. We see Moonblast coming out from Tapu Fini. It did lower. Don't forget, we did see Snarl, so it's not going to do as much as it possibly can. Incineroar with that parting shot, still going to get a Darkest Lariat onto the Ultra Necrozma. But Kainan was able to keep their attack levels down enough where that Ultra Necrozma is going to stay alive for another turn. I think if you're Kainan here, you click Precipice Blades, you click Photon Geyser, you get rid of the Finny with the Photon Geyser, you get rid of the Incineroar with the Precipice Blades combination there, and that is going to be able to knock out Scott's team, or half of Scott's team here, the two that you're seeing on the field. I think Kainan's got a really strong position here with these two legendaries on the field. You know, thinking Scott, I'm not sure if there's any Pokemon that could really take this. We know Kartana's in play, and if we're going off of the last match, I'm not necessarily sure that their team's going to really take this. But, you know, Kainan's going to swap out the Ultra Necrozma in favor of the Persian. And Icy Wind coming out, going to slow the Groudon and the Persian. And it actually critical hit on one of them, but it's not going to really matter. I mean, look at how much damage that did. And there's the Precipice Blades. Tapu Fini going to miss the Precipice Blades. So, Scott's Tapu Fini lives another day. Incineroar going to go down, though. Interesting. All right, so we know Rayquaza is in the back, and we know that Rayquaza is in a really great spot right now, I think. And there it is. Like I said, it's got Waterfall, so it can one-hit KO the Groudon thanks to its ability. I'm thinking here because you really need to protect that Groudon. I say you go in with Rayquaza, but switch it out to. I think if I was Scott right now, I would threaten the Groudon with that. Threaten the Groudon with the Rayquaza, but switch it out. Kind of use it as bait, because in this case, Groudon can switch out relatively easily, and you do have the Fake Out, but we're going to see the Rayquaza just go Mega Evolve right off the bat, so no switching at any point. It's a bit of a risk with the Fake Out from Persian looming. We actually haven't seen Fake Out from Persian. We've seen Snarl, Foul Play, Parting Shot. Groudon's going to protect, so I'm not sure if that Persian does have Fake Out. And we see Dragon Ascent. That's going to connect with the Persian, so not gonna. Okay, that's another good strategy. You know, it's just kind of was expected. The typical play was the Waterfall on the Groudon, but instead we're going to see the Dragon Ascent. But the Persian is going to go down. Someone just got a full-on shiny in the field, so that's why you kind of hear everyone kind of going crazy there. It's kind of fun. But the Persian's going to stay alive, and the Rayquaza is going to take a hit from him with a Foul Play, I believe. So now we're back in the spot. Persian and Rayquaza are knocked down. We're having it looks like waiting here. But I think that this Rayquaza, it did put a lot of pressure onto. The Groudon. There we go. But Tapu Fini here is in a really good spot too. You click on Icy Wind or Moonblast to get rid of the Persian. I think Groudon needs to switch out. I'm thinking Kainan needs to go into maybe the Ultra Necrozma's at red, so you need to go into that last Pokemon, which I don't know if we've seen yet. The one that's not either Legend or Persian. So Scott here, I think I'm just thinking if there's anything that Kainan could do, I think it's a bit of a tougher spot here. Dragon Ascent, though. I'm surprised we're not seeing Waterfall. I'm going to be real. I really thought we would see a lot of Waterfalls, because I think that's really the only thing Kainan can do Scott could do to beat Kainan here. But we did see Dragon Ascent's going to get rid of the Persian. Maybe Scott has something else up his sleeve. Tapu Fini going for Scald. There you go. So it's there. That's the other reason that it would work. But it's not going to knock it out. And Precipice Blade's going to target onto Tapu Fini only, so not the Rayquaza. It is not even going to knock out the Tapu Fini. Activates its Pinch Berry, going to get it back up to over half its health. And now, because of the Icy Wind, Tapu Fini's faster, Rayquaza is free to target that left side. So actually, very smart play by Scott there. It was a bit of a risk. It depended really on if Precipice Blades could knock out. With the low health on Rayquaza, I think even something like Eruption could have done it if the Groudon was faster. So you have to kind of know your Icy Wind calcs right there, and luckily for Scott, he did and was able to get it into that position where Groudon's now threatened, Necrozma's now threatened. If there's extreme speed, then that's absolutely a threat for the Ultra Necrozma. Tapu Lele might come out from Kainan's side if they're expecting an Ultra. I'm guessing we might see that if they're expecting Scott to go for extreme speed, because I believe that the Ultra Necrozma can attack before the Mega Rayquaza, but it's actually going to protect itself on this turn, so it doesn't want to do anything. We see the Waterfall connect with the Groudon that is going to get rid of the Groudon. And now Tapu Fini free to do whatever. Goes for Icy Wind, it protects. Are we going to see Tapu Lele, or are we going to see one of those new other Pokemon from Kainan's side? So it brought in Tapu Lele last time. Yeah, it's going to bring in Tapu Lele again. Now, we know the Tapu Lele is Choice Scarfed. I think Kainan might have turned it around with that one move. But it's not over until it's over. Oh man, this could go either way. It really could. It really could. We know Kartana's in the back with the Focus Sash. We know that Tapu Lele is scarfed. Oh, we know that the Necrozma has an Ultra, or because it's Ultra, it has its Z move, which it hasn't used yet. Dazzling Gleam gonna get rid of the Rayquaza, I think. Yeah, and now you use your Z move on Tapu Fini, and it's gonna come down to Kartana. Oh man, and there's that Z move. So you know, Kainan got herself back into a good spot. I don't know. It looks like, it sounds like we kind of know how it's gonna end up at the end of this. It's not over completely for Scott. It depends on, you know, I'm just thinking over here, you know what, no, Kartana with its special attack, I don't know if there's anything it could do. I was thinking if it could get rid of the Tapu Lele, if it is scarfed onto Dazzling Gleam, so you focus on the Ultra Necrozma first, but Necrozma's gonna outspeed you, and then Dazzling Gleam plus a Photon Geyser, that's not good. We're going to see that Tapu Fini get KO'd right here. But I'm thinking if Scott's play, gotta go for that Ultra Necrozma KO. Hope you're faster than it. If you are, then you might take this match. But so, you know, I think it's going to come down. Yeah, it's going to come down to if this Ultra Necrozma outspeeds or not, and I think, I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling it will. There's the Dazzling Gleam to break the Focus Sash. First off, obviously, Tapu Lele. Wow, okay, yeah, no, that's it. This game is going to Kainan. And there's that Photon Geyser to finish it off. Kainan and Lee taking the game. Round 4. Yeah, you know, that's one of those games, it just shows the importance of how strong... Ooh, Ruki, come here. There we go. That works. Okay, we're not. But it just shows the importance of how certain Pokemon can just change the game drastically. You know, Scott had a lead, but when it came down to that Psychic Spam between Ultra Necrozma and Tapu Lele, both of them really, really put in the effort and made it very entertaining to watch, right, Groupie? Yeah, he liked it. Stick around for round 5. It's the last of the Swiss battles coming up.